Well, hey, everybody. I hope you guys have had a phenomenal week. If you're watching this on the replay or live, or if you're catching this on YouTube, just wanted to say hi. Thank you guys for being a part of the call tonight. There are some incredibly exciting things taking place. Like behind the scenes, we are weeks away from something incredible taking place. And I thought, what a perfect thing to talk about today. The system, a system. What is a system? What does it mean to use a system to build your networking company? What does it mean to use a system to assist yourself in the creation of it? Is a system like something automated? Is it a process? Is it a flow? How does a system work? And I thought there are some people on this call that understand what I say when I mean system. A system has to do with a lot of things from the first exposure of the business. So when you first share against all odds with a person, whether that's a customer or somebody who's a potential influencer or prospect, there's a flow to this whole entire process. And it starts with the first exposure, leading into the second exposure. There's a stat that people don't sign up until maybe the sixth or seventh time they've seen this. And so you don't expect everybody to sign up once. A lot of times people, what they usually do is they will like put a post on Facebook and it's like really lengthy, or they tell someone everything. And then they do that 3, 4 times. It doesn't work. And they end up leaving and they're like, oh, that doesn't work. And yet there's people that will make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. And there are people that don't make any money. And it's like, what is the reason that that does that? And it has so much to do with an aspect of a system. So in a system from start to finish, there's a process or a flow taking someone through an experience or a journey. And it starts with messaging. It starts with the way you invite, and it goes all the way into that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Peyton jump into system real quick, and then he's going to pass it back to me, and then I'll pass it back to him. So I wanted Peyton to jump in on system from here. If you want to jump on real quick.
Yeah, definitely. And so it's interesting as you're kind of describing that. I know that you and I have been having lots of conversations back and forth of, what is necessary in a system. There's an age-old adage around an acronym, basically around the idea of system, which is save yourself time, energy, and money. And so it's interesting to think about what that is. But let's like kind of play this out a little bit. The point of a system, a lot of times, especially if you're in this space of direct sales or home-based business, people will say, "Hey, we have a done-for-you system," and many different versions of that, as if the system alone is going to build your business. And the truth is that the system does not build your business. The system is a racetrack for which your business will build on. And what I mean by that is that this is a business of leverage. And so lots of people look at leverage in a couple of different ways, but you can leverage, for example, a piece of content. You can create content, you can put it on the internet. And as long as that piece of content lives, if it's out there doing its thing, that's creating leverage. That's you out in the digital space and having something that can be played, watched, consumed, learned from time and time again after you have already put that piece of content out there. Another way that you can create leverage is you can create leverage through money. And so you can borrow money to buy assets, lots of different financial instruments to do that. And although that can be both very lucrative, very challenging, and have a lot of risk. Another way, and maybe our favorite way that you can employ leverage to work for you, is to basically start to benefit from human capital. And the way that I always like to think about this is that if you have 10 people and you introduce them to the business, you introduce them to Active, and you introduce them to the product, and they're excited about it and have an experience with it, and you said, okay, go market it. It is not unlikely that there will be 10 different ways that will be marketed. And they might work, but that will not create the type of leverage that you want necessarily, because chances are is that maybe somebody was a really sharp nutritionist and they knew how to explain everything about Active, and the next person was a really sharp business person. And so maybe their presentation was terrible, but because they had influence, people joined anyway. So they're out there thinking that the way that they're presenting the business is great. And then, their people are starting to learn how to present the same way that they presented, and it's not working. And all of a sudden, this little group of 10 random people that were out there marketing the product turns into 3 or 4, and eventually none, right? And then maybe a couple of people keep ordering product because they like it. but that does not create leverage. So the way that you create leverage is that when you have a simple model that anybody can follow. Now, will everybody follow the model? No. Will everybody believe that whatever system is present is the best way to do things? Absolutely not. Might there be a more effective way to get more sales by ratio than this told system? Probably. There's somebody somewhere who can be very, very persuasive that they might be able to talk to 10 different people about active and they might be able to get 9 customers. But what if I told you that with a system that you could follow, if you had the capacity to take this system, use these videos, these invitations that Kevin's talking about, and help someone go from step to step to step to step, from start to finish, from the first time that they ever see this product, from the first time they ever see this business, to the first time that they ever meet any one of us, to the first time that they get started, to the first time that they start introducing it. If there was a model where every person could potentially follow the same thing, what starts to happen? And what starts to happen is that how many people could find 1 hour per day in their life to work on a business that could potentially set them free? Not everybody will, but everybody probably could find an hour. Well, if you find an hour, that's 5 hours a week worth of energy into the marketplace. Now, most people work 40 hours a week, 45 hours a week, 50 hours a week. We've done this one time where we had people who have worked 120 hours per week. So it isn't necessarily just about working 5 hours, but what happens when all of a sudden you say, you know what, I don't know if this is the perfect way to market this. I don't know if it's the most effective way to market this, but what I do know is that this is a way to market this that anybody can follow. And I'm going to follow it this way. And if I follow it this way, will you follow it this way? And someone will say, you know what, I don't have a better idea, so let's do that. And so now you have 2 people. Well, 2 people, an hour a day. Now that business is a 10-hour per week business. And then what happens when 2 find 2 more? It's 4, now 5. That's a 20-hour per week business. You can see where this starts to go. Those 4 can find 1 more. That goes 8, right? Those 8 can find 1 more. You got 16. 16 times 1 hour a day is somewhere in the vicinity of, like, I can't do the math off the top of my head, but 75 hours a week. You now have a business because of a system. Was it the most perfect system? No. Was it the best method to maybe get the most amount of sales ratio for how many people you talk to? No, probably not. Is there somebody out there that might be able to potentially do it better? Yeah, arguably. Can that person work 75 hours? Maybe. But what if those 75 hours, those 16 people now reach 1 with this simple, duplicable model? 32 times 5, 150 hours a week. You have a business that is working 150 hours a week. Now, somebody somewhere out there is going to say, well, I could work 150 hours a week. And I would say, sure. But I've got a business that's paying me 150 hours a week worth of work, but I'm still only doing 1 hour a day. And that's how you can use this to get yourself free while you have a family, while you have a full-time job, while you're in college, while you are still finishing your career and phasing into Social Security. And the system is the model. It is the metric that allows it to be possible for everybody, not just me, not just Kevin, not just Brett, not just Suzanne, not just, like the aces, okay? But anybody, because can anybody do this? Of course. Will everybody do this? Of course not. But it doesn't matter, because what if you woke up a year from now or 2 years from now and you had a business where each one reached 1, you continue teaching the same things. Everybody understands that maybe it's not the best video they've ever had. Everybody understands it might not be the best email they've ever seen. Everybody understands that it might feel like elementary school. But what would be happening if you had a business that was paying you on 2,000 hours a week of human capital? Do you think that that might put you in an exciting position? I think it'd be really exciting. So with that, I know Kevin has some specific ideas that he wants to talk about the system, but that to me is the reason that believing in a system is the way to do it. And the last thing that I'll say, save yourself time, energy, and money. There will come a day where you are in high demand because you've become a rock star, you've achieved your dreams, you have set your course onto a new trajectory, and there will be lots and lots of people that want to hear your story. But the thing is that you might want to be on a beach and you don't have time to tell your story. Maybe once, maybe twice, but not 5 or 10 or 15 times, right? But the system can tell your story for you. And so if we work the system will work for us. And Kevin, take it from there.
Well, as far as I am concerned, that evokes in me a story where he says, I have a dream. I have a dream that every valley shall be exalted. But of course, I mean valleys of belief. And I'm not Martin Luther King, but I'll tell you what, I have a dream and I have a vision. And Peyton shares that vision, and Brett shares that vision, and Roland shares that vision. Suzanne and Susan share that vision. This vision is of a system, and this entire 6 months in the business, we have not had a cohesive system from start to finish. And we want one. We need one. It's ready to go fast. All we need is a system in place. And so we came up with the idea, hey, what if there was a website you could enter / your username, and it was me presenting the business in 2 minutes for you, but it was a series of questions that you ask. Tony Robbins says, and I always quote this, the quality of your relationships is the quality of the questions you ask other people. Well, I know for a simple fact that no matter how you present features, no matter how you present how awesome active is or against all odds is, people are more motivated to avoid pain than they ever would be to go towards pleasure. And here we are selling a dream. Here we are selling a why. Here we are selling opportunity. We're selling hope, ideas. We're selling the features of active, the features of against all odds. Yet people are more motivated to avoid pain. Well, inflation's at an all-time high. Food costs more than it ever has. You've got debt is higher than it has. Money and wages are down. Savings is down. Inflation's up. The housing costs higher. The fuel costs higher. And things are only going to get worse. That's not fear-mongering. That's reality. Imagine if you had an opportunity that could appeal to the average person, that a system was put into place for as things got worse, you had hope. You had a way to help people achieve it. What if I could present the business to your people so that the questions I asked them were thought out carefully, so all you had to do was send them a link. They could watch it 2-3 minutes. What if you had an app that you could send the link out of the app and it could tell you how much of the video they watched? It could tell you exactly how much they engaged in. Or you could send any of the other videos, you could see how much they watched. And you just did everything out of an app. What if an app told you what to do? Every day, hey, follow up with that person. Hey, reach out to 5 more people. Hey, talk to this person, that person. That's coming in April. Next week, I think I'll have the website created and completed for the first part. But if everyone was looking at active or looking at against all odds with the same perception, because we shaped it, because they say, build the friend will build the business. Well, I want to change it. Build the relationship, and that relationship will build the business. So imagine if the quality of the questions you asked other people was the quality of the relationship that you built. And you built a relationship with people based around that. You were able to alter the perception on the way in. So then when you sent a video, it was received better. When they got on a call that was longer, it was received better. The objections were overcome and the motivation was designed there. Now, I will tell you, piggybacking on what Peyton said, if you do not believe in the system, it will not work for you. If you do not believe in the video will not work for you. If you do not believe in that, it will not work for you. You will not share it. It will not happen for you. Worst off is if you do not believe in yourself, you'll never get there. If you're worried about the price to get started, you should see the cost of staying where you are. Regret is a bill that gets paid generationally. If you don't achieve it in this life, your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, that's a thing. But if you achieve it in this life, 10 generations later, they're still talking about you. You could set your course and set the generational lineage on fire in a whole different way. So to me, a system starts with the way they see the business, and then it goes into each step. So the vision that we had looked like this, a website I could send them to. 2-3 minutes. They have a general idea. Maybe they want to sign up and buy 2 bags of greens right there. What if you only gave them one sign-up package choice, the $89? If you just want 1 bag, I'll send you 25% off coupon code. Be a customer. When you're ready to do the business, come in right. Don't come in at all if you're not going to come in right. $89. If you go to the gas station and blow some money there, you've spent it. If you go to Starbucks, you've spent it. People have that. It's not a big ask. The time commitment in multi-level marketing today feels like a much bigger ask than $89 a month. A Sunday call, a Monday call, a Tuesday call, a Wednesday call. People don't have that attention span as they once did. And so to take and add the training pieces where they are in a back office, and if you paid for the training just shows up in your back office. It's 30 years of Dan Putnam's experience explaining exactly what you would need to do to achieve this. Imagine if the flow was you get in, you send the link out to as many people as it takes to get 3 people. You get your 3 people. So we do 3 things. We buy $89 worth of Active Greens. That's a bag to drink, a bag to share. Then we send that link out to as many people as it takes to sign up 3. We made $100 one time, but we're profitable $10 on our initial investment. We now help those 3 people send that video out to as many people as it takes so they get their initial investment covered. And at that point, you have 3 who get 3 at $89 a month, or a structure of 12 people. That's $300 a month residually right there. How simple would that be? Now, can I make it simpler? I can right click in the Chrome browser on any website and it'll generate a QR code for me. That's easy. I can take that QR code and print out business cards with that QR code on there and some cheesy line that says, scan this QR code to make $300 from your phone. And people are being presented to by me out there for you to your website. And all you have to do is put cards on people's windshield wipers in a parking lot. How powerful could that be? Someone with no social influence, someone with no social network has the ability to print out some cards, put them on a website and go share with people. And the QR code gets scanned, the analytics follow, and you could see anyone could succeed with something, because that would be true duplication. This is not a business of direct sales. This is a business of duplication. So if we could simplify the process, what's our offer? Let's just help 10,000 people make $300 a month. And everybody that says no, that's interested in the product, let's give them a 25% off coupon code and we'll get them there. Now, retention is one of the biggest pieces. So I'm going to pass it back to Peyton, because before I go, I wanted to just share, because Peyton will close it out. On retention, to me, there's 2 things that I think would amplify retention. Number one, if we had some ecosystem, let's say like a Facebook group. You see that segue? Oh, if we had an ecosystem where you could put people in there and it educated, because I believe education could create a womb to tomb product, something people take every day for the rest of the night because they know they need this. That's one for retention. And 2, if people are making more than they're spending, they will stay. So my goal is to help people become profitable. Like, get some to drink because you should be taking it. Get profitable so you know what you did to know how to help people, and then help people do the same thing. If that was just texting a link out or putting a business card with QR codes everywhere, whatever it is, but it comes down to your belief. And so I wanted Peyton to talk about retention and dive into the Facebook to kind of 50,000 foot the rest of this. So I'm passing it over.
Yeah, cool. I mean, super exciting. And it's all the pieces of the puzzle I believe are coming together. So there's a, like you described, basically, is when you think about long-term retention in a business, retention is an interesting idea, because the very concept of retention in this type of business is basically measured by people, the duration of how long people continue to order their product on a month-to-month basis. And so the good news is that we have a very affordable product with a very attractive piece as far as what it does for the body, what it does for the health. And it's the type of product that basically it's not a crash diet, it's not weight loss, it's just good quality nutrition. So this is something that will ultimately become part of people's, staple in their life. And so, like Kevin was describing, basically, it's you're going to have a couple of different types of people that are going to retain naturally, right? You're always going to have a certain amount of people that order one time. You're always going to have a certain amount of people that order a couple of times, and then maybe they shift their focus, or they didn't, get the value, as far as maybe they were expecting something different in their body than they got from the product. There's a lot of different reasons, but let's look at the people that actually stay. Like Kevin said, it's going to be people that have either a life-changing testimonial with the product, some type of personal testimonial. It's going to be people that are profitable or are earning income, so they have a reason to basically to be incentivized to stay. or it's going to be people that create an intellectual and an emotional attachment to the product, regardless of whether the first two things have happened. And so in order to continue to build that, it's inviting people into an environment. We've all been part of Facebook groups before. We've all understood probably the ad tag message type of group, but the group that we're ultimately designing and what we're excited about with We Live Active is just an environment where it's all encompassing, right? Because what really is this movement of active? What really is the purpose of a product like this? What is the purpose of a business like this? It's like there is no one single purpose. It's really to enrich our own personal lives. Everybody wants to enrich their lives in different ways. For some people, it is a health crisis. For other people, it is a health prevention measure, a sense of well-being. For other, it's strictly a financial move. And for other people, they want to get involved in an uplifting community of people that are doing that. And some people maybe want to find value by learning about nutrition, right? Making better decisions in their life. And so what we decided was, we said, instead of having a group that's all business, instead of having a group that's all product, instead of having a business that's all fitness, we are just going to have a group that is about the movement. It's going to be called We Live Active. It is going to embody all of the things that active basically represents in the product and in the business and in the movement with the people. And it's going to be value driven. And hopefully what it's going to turn into is a place where not only people can get, the information or the content or the motivation or the inspiration that they're looking for, but also where they are motivated and inspired to invite other great people to be a part of it, not because they want to sell to them, not because they want to retain them and a customer, but ultimately because we have a group of good people that are going the same direction, which is to maximize the potential of this life that we have been given, right? Which is to maximize our body, to maximize our health, to maximize our well-being, to maximize, our income and maximize our freedom. And I think that message is powerful enough and conducive enough that you'll see that group start to grow. And I invite every person, if you're watching this for the first time, if you're watching the replay on YouTube, if you're with us right now, this is going to be an environment where we want to hear how you are living active, and we want to grow that movement together. We know that we can't do it just by ourselves individually, and it will be a collective. We're looking forward to that for sure. So that's going to be kind of the maybe the landing point of the system that ultimately will be the community, where if you look at, a basic need that people really, really need at this point, especially coming out of the global pandemic and all these things, is ultimately connection. Yes, like Kevin said, it's like we need to help people financially. Yes, we need to help people with their health. And ultimately it's connection, and to find connection in places where it's positive, motivating, uplifting messages and information content that are going to help people have a better year next year and have a better year the year after that, not just, fluff them up. So hopefully that helps you guys understand the whole picture of kind of what this system is going to be. Really looking forward to getting this thing cranking over the next couple of weeks. And I think we've gotten to a place where the brand is simplified, the product is simplified, the message is simplified, and the sale and the process can be simplified. And we can go and, like Kevin said, help lots and lots of people achieve that $300 per month additional supplemental income benchmark, and grow from there. So with that, I'll close it out, and thank you so much for your time and attention.